What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phones and Drones. Okay, so if you follow the channel, you know for a little while now we've been doing some hands-on with this baby here, the Pixel Fold, and we love it. We came away very impressed and all that. But what we didn't do is have enough time to give a full analysis. That's why you haven't seen our full review drop yet. But I want to let you guys know, if you're looking at picking up one of these babies, there's some things to know. And a lot of things aren't going to make some people happy, especially at the $1,800 price point. So for this video, I want to go ahead and tell you some of the reasons to be aware of before you make that $1,800 commitment and some of the not so good things about it. By no means is this a bad phone. It's still our primary driver. We're going to be using it regularly, but I want to go ahead and jump into a couple of downsides about this device. Okay, first things first, the battery life has not been great by any means. I actually think for as large of a capacity battery that it has, after even it adjusted to my usage and adjusted to all the apps being updated and utilized as regularly it would, it's not good. We are barely getting a little over 5 hours of screen on time, and the phone itself is barely lasting us a regular 8 to 5 workday. So yes, we're lucky when we're inside, we can just plug it in. It does offer 30-watt wired charging and 5-watt wireless charging. But if you are out and about and you are not capable of keeping your phone near a charger, it does make an issue for this device. Hopefully this is something that can be software optimized in the near future, but this was a call out I wanted you guys to be aware of. Beyond that, the software layout itself, it really is a pain to not have a cover and an interior layout for the interior display. It makes the inside look so sloppy. So what I mean by this is, if you get a Galaxy Fold or a Galaxy Flip or any real other foldable phone, you have the option to have an interior layout and an exterior layout for that cover display. Whatever you have loaded on the cover display does not necessarily mirror what is in the inside of the display when it's unfolded. By doing this, you have your options of having two completely separate layouts, one to maximize that interior size of the display, and one that's meant for quick glancing while it's closed. For some reason, Google's not allowing this, and I talked about this in one of our other videos. I am sure this was just meant to keep it simple for people not familiar with foldables, but there should at least be an option to allow to turn this on or off, or some sort of customization. That's what Android's all about, right? We should be able to have this as a customization option, so power users or any regular user that might want to use this feature can. And while we're talking about these displays, one other piece that is surprisingly missing, we'll say, is the app continuality feature. And you guys let me know in the comments, am I missing this? Please keep me honest, let us know. But everything I looked at in all the settings, no matter what you do, if you're running an app on the inside display and close the phone, for some reason, you cannot continue it automatically on the outside of the display. It either locks or just shuts off. You have to relaunch the app to continue using it where you left off when you were viewing it on the larger display. Every other foldable has this option. Everything else, every other manufacturer that offers this as a software tweak has added this ability and has made the device 10 times more useful, being able to go from a larger screen to a smaller screen, which is what these devices are meant to do at a moment's notice, to be able to walk away and carry on with what you're doing. By not having that, I think it's a very big inconvenience, and it's kind of sloppy to not allow that. Beyond that, also, just a minor complaint here, but the button placement for where the volume rocker is and the power button, I don't think they're in a very advantageous location, so to speak. They're not ideal. They are very easily pressed when you're not looking to, when you're trying to open the display up or anything like that. So a more ideal location would have been to split the buttons. They have a similar texture as well, so it's very hard to differentiate which button you're clicking. Also, having said that, if they would have moved the volume rocker down and then subsequently slid or spaced out the power button, I think it would have made the fingerprint sensor and unlock for the power button a little more achievable and more successful from every time to use it. Luckily, it does have face unlock, so if you don't want to use your fingerprint, you can use face unlock, but we know the caveats that come with that. It is just not as secure. It's not like an iris scanner or anything else, or Face ID like Apple offers currently, so keep that in mind. I just don't like the button placement. Another minor complaint as well is that the metal on the camera bar is very prone to scratching. within a day of having it out, even with the case, because the case doesn't cover that camera bar, it is getting little micro scratches and regular scratches across that whole bar. This phone hasn't been dropped, it's been in my pocket, it's sat on tables, and it's still picked up those micro scratches. For an $1,800 phone, I don't think you should be having these issues. I don't care if it should be coated a little differently or you've done something a little different with the material. But yeah, it's kind of unacceptable to have these scratches right on the actual camera bar. And as quick as it catches the light, you can see it very easily. The device itself on the back and the cover screen look phenomenally well. It's held up great. We obviously have the porcelain variant, have had no issues with that on the device. But yeah, something to be aware of that yet again, you could run into this issue with something like that. These are the gist of what I wanted to go over today, guys. I mean, nothing is a deal breaker, right? If you love the phone, the cameras are great, you're still getting great software support. It's just that in a first-gen product, in its infancy, and at this price point, it's not the ideal purchase necessarily. Unless you're a tech nerd like us that love to try all the new products and really just want a pixel experience on a foldable display, there are a number of other options to go to. I still think personally, just to recap, the app continuity issue and the battery life for me are the two biggest ones right now. I can deal with the button placement, I can deal with the camera bar screen, and ideally, hopefully, these can all be fixed in a software update. Google can drop a pixel drop on us next month or in the next quarter and say, hey, here, we're going to give you XYZ that we just talked about. That would be the ideal solution, and having all these in place for growth of the foldable platform would be huge. But let me know in the comments down below, is it just us? Are we being a little nitpicky as far as what we want? Or have you guys experienced it as well? If you have the Pixel Fold and let us know in the comments down below, what are your gripes in regards to this device? Is it the battery life? Is it the software optimization? What is it, and what could Google really do to improve on it in the next generation or in subsequent Pixel drops? I would like to see improved wireless charging speeds, maybe a little faster wire charging. 30 watts is not bad, but when you take into account this large milliamp hour battery, it is still so slow to charge. If you're charging it from 30 to 100 or from 40 to 100, it takes well over an hour and 15 minutes plus just to top off the battery. Not a deal breaker, but as your only method of charging, could be improved. So yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Thank you again for watching. Let us know in the comments, like I said. Do you have the Pixel Fold? What are your issues? If you don't have it, is this going to hinder you from getting it? I'd really like to know y'all's opinion on this. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.